Boom. This is day 26 of the No Media series. For you guys only tuning into these videos right now, this is where I try to disconnect from the abundance of today's media. And I want to underline the word try because sometimes it's hard and you fall back into your old habits. But this is where I document my experience, where I try to disconnect from all of the garbage that they're trying to pump into our brains to disconnect ourselves from our lives. Now, I'm disconnecting from the media, but they're trying to make us disconnect from our lives, to try and make us care about other people's lives more than your own. And don't get me wrong, you should sometimes even live your life for other people. Care about other people, give. You want to give more than you consume. You want to give, and not take. You don't want to take from the world, you want to give. But this is not the message. The thing is, you want to be a creator, you don't want to be a consumer. And every single media company, every single company is trying to fight for your attention, for your consumption, because they get paid. So it's a scam. It's a really, really big scam that we are all a part of. So the thing is, we want to pay more attention to our lives, because if you don't pay attention to your life, then you're paying more attention to something else, right? And if you're paying more attention to something else, then you don't matter to yourself. You stop respecting yourself and you start to lose your values. You start to lose your morals. You lose everything that actually matters to you and you forget what matters to you. And when we go back to very basics and what matters to us from the very, very primal basics or primal instincts as humans, which is survival, shelter, and food, literally like heat, being warm. We are living in times of complete abundance. And even in the past 10 years now, we've seen the most evolution. Or I don't even gonna call it evolution, because it's like I see it as going downhill, because everyone is just more confused. We cannot keep up with the information that is available today. It's impossible. Our brains are not built to keep up with all of this. That's why we're all suffering with mental health issues. We're all suffering with like anxiety. We're afraid of the world. And that has never existed in like 50 years. Obviously, yeah, it's existed to some extent, but it's a lot worse than it ever was. And it's just going to keep getting worse. And this is a part of the reason why I'm trying to do this series. That like I'm trying to disconnect from YouTube videos. I'm trying to disconnect from news, trying to disconnect from like abundant movie watching, abundance of information. That's what I'm trying to disconnect from. And I feel like it's very important because you start to get more in touch with yourself. You start to understand what really matters to you, and you go to the very basics. I'll speak of the very basics in terms of books for this episode because I've spoken about this before, but if you think about it, what has every book been written about? And let me explain this more. I want to try and explain this properly. Every single book has been rewritten from another book. Every business book, every entertainment book, every fictional novel, autobiography, everything has existed because of one book, which is the Bible. The Bible has been written in like 4th century, right? This is 400 BC, or sorry, AD, right? 400 AD is where the Bible was written. And all the books after that are rewritten based on what that book has provided. Obviously, yeah, there's stories, there's different lives, there's no coincidences like everyone living the same life, no. But all philosophies, all major philosophers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, they've all literally written philosophies based on the Bible. And this is one book that I'm going to try to read. And I'm pretty sure it's going to take me like years to read the Bible. But I feel like it's so important to go back to the basics, to try and go back to the source of information. Because everything that exists now is based on that. But the funny thing is, it's trying to go away from that. It's trying to go away from what the Bible was saying. The further we go, it's trying to rewrite things in a very dark way. It's trying to rewrite things in a malicious way, something that is causing harm not only to us, but to the planet. Look around. What is happening? It's kind of going downhill, isn't it? And I'm not saying that times were absolutely perfect back then. No, it was kind of horrible back then too, but I'm speaking of like 500 AD, 600 AD. Times were horrible. Think of the Roman times, how much torturing was going on. Think of how much murdering was going on. Yeah, times weren't good, but at least people could keep up with things, right? Now it's 2024, 1,400 years later. And like the amount of information we get these days, the amount of development, innovations, creations that we have today is like impossible to keep up with. I don't think our brains have evolved with how much evolution has actually happened. And again, the word evolution, I don't mean it as evolution. It's different. So I feel like, yeah, we all should try and disconnect a little bit to give ourselves a break, because we're all going to suffer a little bit. Or not a little bit, a lot of it, if we don't try and disconnect. It's going to catch up with us, whether we like it or not. And we have the control over it, We have control over it. We can control what we see. But it's really hard these days because it's been made that way. It's been made to be addictive. All these social medias, all of these different entertainment sources. It's been made in a way for us to have a very difficult time trying to go away from it. Addiction, it's just addiction. So, but it's still in your hands to control what you see and what you consume. Try and create more. Try and create more. If you don't play an instrument, learn an instrument. If you don't draw, try and learn how to draw. I've been trying to learn how to draw there in the past while, and it's pretty fun. Like playing an instrument. I played a guitar. It's pretty fun. Even just writing in a journal, it's pretty fun. You try and create more, you consume less. And even like these videos, me trying to spread some kind of message, even though it might be so unclear to what I'm saying, my speech is so unstructured, and I'm completely aware of that. But still, it's creation. I might look back to these videos in like 10 years and be like, I understand what I'm saying. Maybe I won't understand what I'm saying, but I'll still have something to look back on. It's creation nonetheless. So yeah, try and create more. Stop consuming. It's only taking you away from what your actual life is supposed to look like. And it's kind of scary. And trust me, I've had bad days. I've had days where I like scrolled for like a couple of minutes, and it's not bad, but listen, I've seen how much progress I've made, and I also seen how quickly I can lose it all just by giving up. Just by going back on social media, just by going back on YouTube. I could see how quickly I could lose the progress that I've made. All the memory that I've built. Like my memory has gotten so much better. My anxiety has gone down so much. My confidence has built up so much. I stopped caring about things that I shouldn't care about. And I can see that I can get back to my base level anxiety, my insecurities. It can all come back in like less than a week. I could lose all of this progress. It's a constant effort that is required from us to keep doing this. And it gets hard. I really mean it. It does get hard. Days when you're bored, days when you have like more time than you need, it's very easy to go back and do your old habits, your bad habits. But you have to be strong, you have to keep going. You have to do these things. Because you can lose all the progress you've made. And you won't even remember the progress that you've made, because you'll be distracted from your own self once again. With social media companies getting stronger, you're getting weaker. That's the message for today. So if you like it, subscribe, like the video, comment, share. I know my videos, once again, are very unstructured. My messages, they're all over the place. But the thing is, maybe they'll get more structured with this challenge going on for longer. You know, it's day 26, maybe day like 52, yeah? I'll have like this nailed down. My speech will be completely clear. I'll be able to convey a message perfectly. You know, that's the goal. You know, I had troubles recording myself like a couple of months ago, but there you go. You make progress. Anyways, as always, peace.